Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Care Manager. My name is Ryan Abramski. I'm the Business Development Director, and I'm joined with Teresa Jackson, our Director of Care Management. The both of us work for Easy Living. We're a home care and care management agency serving the Tampa Bay area for over 20 years. Ask a Care Manager is brought to you by the Senior Living Resource Magazine and their website, SeniorLivingGuide.com. They're your one-stop local and statewide resource for all things senior housing and health. Anything from home care, like Easy Living, to assisted living facilities.
Upside down.
Oops. To memory care, to senior health. Check out Senior Living Resource Magazine and their website, SeniorLivingGuide.com. And now that I got the book the right way, here's just an example of their magazine. So check them out today for all your senior resource information. So thank you, Teresa, for letting me know that was up.
Anytime.
So anyway, Teresa, back to our regularly scheduled program here. So got a question. I think this is something that, again, we run into on the home care side and on the care management side, a lot of the what ifs. A lot of it comes down to having certain documents in place. I think the official term is advanced directives. So what if someone's trying to help a neighbor, or a neighbor doesn't have any family, or and they're just really have been there for them for years, and they're just trying to do the right thing to make sure they get taken care of. What if you have even a loved one that doesn't have their advanced directives in place, like wills, power of attorneys, healthcare surrogates, whatever, all the different terminologies there. So, what if someone doesn't have that in place and someone's trying to help them out, and with good intentions, obviously.
Yeah, and we see this all the time. You're absolutely correct, Ryan. I've had at least 2 telephone calls this week alone from family members who were on the way to the hospital. They needed help with advocacy. They didn't have advanced directives for their loved ones. I think one situation it was a dad, and the other situation it was a mother. So the hospital was not really providing them with information about what's going on. But then in one situation, they were coming back and going, oh, but you either need to choose to have your father intubated, or you need to sign a DNR. And the family members were not healthcare surrogates. Okay. So it just creates such a complex situation, because without that planning, one, we always hope that the neighbor or the family member is trying to help and have good intentions. If you start looking at statistics about financial exploitation, the majority of financial exploitation is done by family members. So you have to be very careful, and you want to just make sure you put those tools into place, because somebody might be, say they have good intentions, but they don't, or, we hope that they do, but a care manager always looks at that what if situation. What if they are not, what if they do not have the best intention for the clients? And even if they do, legally, they might not be able to help. We have had a situation a while back where it was a friend of a family. I think it was like a godson, or, they didn't have family members. It was like a godson. And he was the healthcare proxy. So he was able to make medical decisions. Mm-hmm. And a healthcare proxy is done when there are no other options, but they have narrowed down the powers that be. It could have been done in a hospital or in a facility. The powers that be said, there are no other family members. So you have stepped up, and we have vetted you, and you are, the godson, and so we have stated that you can be the healthcare proxy and you can make medical decisions. He had no power to access his godmother's financials. Okay. So even though he wanted to hire us and provide care, financially he could not write a check on her behalf. because those arrangements had not been made. So if you don't make those backup plans to where, okay, Ryan, you can make my medical decisions, but I give you no authority to pay any of my medical bills or hire anybody on my behalf, your hands are tied.
Yeah.
So then the only other recourse, if there's nobody else available and no arrangements have been made, is to go for a guardianship. And guardianship, is expensive. It takes time. And that's the last resource that someone would want to do. And if it's an emergency, you need to hire care right now. Mom's being discharged or your godmother's being discharged from the rehab. She needs to go home, but she has to have care. You can't write a check to pay the deposit to get into an assisted living facility or to bring in care. Mm-hmm. So that's where we see a lot of where if they were just planning ahead.
So it's not just about, your health decisions. It has to be about your monetary and financial situations too, like that. Both of them need to be in place.
Correct. Because again, I can make your medical decisions for you, but I have no ability to see those through because I can't pay the providers to take care of you.
Absolutely. So, what's the best advice for everyone right now? With that being said, thinking that, some people might think that they have those in place, but then, one hand might not be washing the other hand there, and, talking to each other, I guess would be the terminology. And so what does a care manager recommend for someone to do?
So if you don't have any advance directives, and when we say advance directives, we're talking about your living will, your healthcare surrogate, your power of attorney, and it may or may not include a do not resuscitate order. If you do not have that in place, we definitely want to make sure you get it in place. And some people will say, well, yes, I'll choose you to make my decisions, but I am not giving you access to my checking, banking, financial information. And so that's understandable. In Florida, and I'm not an attorney, so please, I'm not giving legal advice, and I always tell people that they do need to speak to preferably an elder law attorney or an attorney that specializes in this area, mm-hmm. and to make sure that the documents are set up appropriately, because I know there's been I can't remember if it's 2011, 2013, there were laws that were changed, so it might prevent someone their ability to set up a trust to help them qualify for Medicaid if they needed to do that. And again, most people think, well, my insurance is going to take care of everything, so you don't have to have access to my financial information. But as we have learned, and I hope we have shared with all of our viewers, is that your insurance does not come close to paying for care needs when someone becomes frail and disabled and they need additional help at home.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it, Teresa, and we'll obviously always put our information below, so you can reach out to one of our care managers here at the office, and they'd be happy to review the documents and point you in the right direction. And obviously, if an attorney is needed at that point in time, we'd be happy to refer you to one of our attorneys that we work with on a regular basis, and give you obviously a few options so you guys can pick the best attorney for that you see fit. So, Teresa, thank you again for all of your insight, and I thank everyone else for joining us. I hope to see everyone next week. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below, send us a message on Facebook, or visit our website, www.easylivingfl.com. Hope to see everyone next week. Teresa, I'll see you next week, and thank you again.
Bye.